there is a serious lack of information on homeschooling for those that work full time, but especially work outside the home, and why our decision to homeschool but continue to be working outside the home full time for both my husband and I, how that's kind of shaping what curriculums we're looking at. I do have to put a disclaimer that I have not had any of these curriculums in my hands. I have only looked at them online. I have pulled the free examples of the pages that I could from the different companies and different websites, but I have not actually had these in my hands. It's insane of me to spend, upwards of $1,000 on preschool curriculum that I don't need. So the 7 different things that I looked at the most when it came to a preschool curriculum was the product description, first of all, um, whether or not it's an open and go curriculum, or does it require like additional preparation, what the time requirement would be, either weekly or daily, the type of program, whether it was more like worksheets, bookwork kind of thing, or are we looking at more of like crafts and activities and that sort of thing? Is this an all in one, or would you need to gather additional materials and supplies? Is it a secular or biblical, Christian, religious curriculum? And then the cost. In order for me to consider them options for preschool for my daughter, they couldn't be subject specific. It did need to be preschool specific. It needed to be a non-digital curriculum. And then the last kind of qualifier was that it needed to be individual homeschool curriculum. You do not need a curriculum to do homeschool, period, really, but especially preschool. We, my husband and I, are going to be homeschooling our daughter while we are both working full time. Now, I do work a traditional 8 to 4:30 work day, and our daughter goes to daycare during the day. My husband's schedule is a little bit different because he works like 24-hour shifts, so he only does about 3 days a week. For the most part, I am anticipating that the homeschool time that we will get is going to be on the weekends. Okay, so we're going to get into the curriculums now and read you guys the description of each of these curriculums, just so you know like what particular websites or what the companies themselves are saying about these curriculums. Okay, so first one is highlights. This is their preschool big fun workbook. This is from Zorro.com, and this is what they have to say about the curriculum. Preschool learning has never been so enjoyable. The award-winning Big Fun Preschool Workbook is a fresh approach to practicing essential skills for school readiness and success. This workbook has more than 250 pages filled with learning activities plus fun highlights, puzzles, poems, and illustrations that engage preschoolers and reinforce what they're learning. Mazes, matching games, dot to dots, scavenger hunts, find the differences, and hidden picture puzzle activities make it fun for preschoolers to practice all the skills that will help them feel confident about going to school, including ABCs, sight words, colors, shapes, numbers, patterns, sorting, opposites, math concepts, sequencing, and more. This huge activity book for kids ages 3 through 6 includes an introduction that gives parents helpful tips for making learning fun. The last page is an adorable certificate of completion to reward kids for their work and persistence. So I do have experience with the highlights stuff, and I would say for the most part it is very visually engaging. I would say there are some activities that get too busy visually, and my daughter especially gets kind of distracted, but that could also be her age right now too. So this is an open and go workbook. You need your basic like pens, pencils, crayons, markers, glue, scissors, all of those common home items that if you have kids, chances are you already have those things in your house. There is 256 pages, and so if you did approximately 7 pages a week, that would get you to 36 weeks. But for the most part, it's pretty much just a workbook. This is an all-in-one. Highlights, of course, has tons of other workbooks on, focusing on different skills and abilities. It's pretty secular. And then the cost, depending on where you get this, anywhere between $7 to $13. I think I found it for like just under $7 from Amazon. So this is probably one of the most inexpensive preschool curriculum options that I have found. Okay, the next one is the company Sunlight, and this is their preschool package. So they call it their fiction, fairy tales, and fun. All right, so here's what they have to say about it on their website. These beginning years lay the foundation for a lifetime of learning. Our no pressure preschool curriculum, homeschool curriculum program provides favorite children's book classics plus engaging games and hands on Montessori type materials and activities, all designed to address the developmental needs of young children in a fun, relaxed, and interactive environment. You'll ease into homeschooling as you have the materials and guidance you need to gently build pre-reading, pre-math, pre-writing, listening, and motor skills. Your children will start to hear cadence and rhyme. They'll grow in their cultural literacy. They'll learn Bible stories and a story of God at work on the other side of the world. They will work with spatial relationships, build cognitive and motor skills, develop independence and self-confidence through practical life skills, and wade into rudimentary science. All of this through picture books and Montessori type materials and activities that your family will treasure and enjoy for years to come. Flexible and simple to teach, this preschool homeschool curriculum program will provide the opportunity for your little one to hear great stories, spend quality time with you, and explore the world around them through great books, play, and tactile activities. And then included in this particular curriculum is the instructor's guide, the literature. So they actually send you all of the books, and from what I see, they're all actually hardcover books, which is really cool. You're getting instructor's guide and then all of the actual manipulatives, and was able to download a few pages of the instructor's guide and the schedule prior to doing this video and kind of in my research. And based on what I was seeing from the instructor's guide, this is not necessarily an open and go curriculum. They say that it is, and it is to a certain extent, in the fact that when you order this, you get everything included in the box, and that is your homeschool curriculum. So you literally open it up and you can start homeschooling. However, looking at the instructor's guide, as a parent, you will probably want to do some things, do some prep work ahead of time. Most of the materials are included in this box, so it even comes with some basic things like safety scissors and letter cards, colored pencils. It actually comes with just about everything. It is set to be done 3 days a week. They estimate that you'll be spending between 15 to 45 minutes a day. In that regard, it's super flexible, and I do really appreciate that. I also appreciate that they understand the attention span of a child. That age is very limited. It's less than an hour. So I really do appreciate that. This curriculum is very literature heavy. It is a hands-on. They do activities, they do crafts. I was actually looking at the instructor's guide, and they have things like the sand tray for them to practice writing letters in with their fingers. It is an all-in-one curriculum. This, I would say, is the most all-in-one curriculum of any of the curriculums that I looked into. This is Christian-based. This particular curriculum is, and I'm looking at it right now, $355.01. It is expensive. It is by far the most expensive preschool curriculum that I found. But they're sending you all the books. They're sending you everything that you need to do homeschool with your child. The good and the beautiful. So I am looking at the preschool language arts course set, which includes preschool course book, the preschool folder activities, the preschool practice sheets, and access to learning songs and videos. Okay, there's their description. Introduce your littlest learner to letters, sounds, numbers, counting, fine motor skills, and much more using the completely new preschool course. Interactive activities and games included in every open and go lesson provide a strong learning foundation for children ages 3 and older. This course allows you to feel the joy of teaching your child as you help him or her connect learning to God, high character, beautiful artwork, and parent-child interaction right from the start of your child's educational foundation. The newly updated preschool course includes a full-color course book, including 90 fun, engaging lessons that were carefully designed to maximize learning, adorable preschool folder activities, including games and punch-out pieces that are incorporated throughout the course, preschool practice sheets to boost independent learning and encourage even more fun, interactive letter sound and letter movement videos to increase letter and sound recognition. Okay, so again, I don't have this curriculum in my hands, but I have watched many, many people review this curriculum and do like a flip through of it. There is some prep with like the activities and the punch out things, the punch out games, but it's pretty minimal. They suggest approximately 3 lessons a week. As far as the amount of time, they don't give any specifics on the amount of time because it is very dependent on the child. It is a lot of worksheets and games sort of things. It is all in one. There are other items that you can tack on. They have handwriting curriculums. It is biblical. So the owner of the Good and the Beautiful is actually part of the Latter-day Saints church or religion, however you want to say it. Um, but from everything that I've seen from all the different people that have reviewed this curriculum and um, everything that I've seen from the sample pages and everything, you're concerned about it being denomination specific, I wouldn't be concerned about that. All right, and the cost of this one is $48.97, so just under $50. But it does actually have quite a bit. And for those of you who haven't looked at this curriculum, it is very pretty. That was from all of the different reviews that I have seen on the Good and the Beautiful's preschool curriculum. That is the overwhelming consensus, is that this curriculum is extremely aesthetically pleasing. This is the Horizons Preschool for Threes specifically curriculum set. This is from Alpha and Omega. Prepare your 3-year-old for preschool with a program precisely designed to address your child's cognitive development, pre-reading and numeracy skills, language acquisition, and school readiness. An expansion of the Horizons Preschool program, Horizons Preschool for Threes also strengthens children's social, emotional, and spiritual development by leading 3-year-olds to know that God made them and gave them great gifts. Featuring 40 weeks of lessons and activities presented in one student workbook, a workbook companion, a teacher's guide, and a brightly illustrated Bible story reader, Horizons Preschool for Threes gives students practice in language skills as well as matching, sequencing, counting, and more. From what I was diving into, there is some prep. I would say that this one is probably one of the more complete curriculums because it does include additional things outside of those academic subjects, including, like I said, the outdoor activities, creative cooking, manners, field trips, all that sort of stuff. Heavily based worksheet kind of curriculum, but there is music, there is hands-on, but then it also has the readers. So this has the Bible story reader, the student workbook, the workbook companion, the teacher's guide. So it is an all-in-one, so everything is included. It is biblically based, it is Christian based. Then the cost, so the one that I'm looking at right now is $120. And then there is some additional things if you want to add in. The cost can get up to about $180. It is the Essential Homeschool Preschool and Pre-K Workbook. I actually found this on Amazon. That's actually the only place I've been able to find it. Practice 3 core subjects with one ultimate homeschool workbook for preschool. Help homeschool preschool students practice pre-writing, pre-reading, and math in the same book. The Essential Homeschool Preschool and Pre-K Workbook is an all-in-one supplemental resource neatly organized into 3 sections for different subjects. No need to purchase different books for different lessons. This book covers a range of key skills so kids have the materials they need as they prepare for kindergarten. This kids' educational workbook includes 135 activities, a wide variety of on-the-page activities like mazes, matching, and spot the difference, keep kids engaged and help boost creative thinking. Made for preschool, these exercises follow the national standards for early learning, from letter and number recognition to tracing. Easy organization, a detailed table of contents, exercise checklists, and color-coded labels make it quick to navigate to the exercises that teach particular skills. Go beyond other preschool workbooks with this one-stop resource for reading, writing, and math practice at home. So I'm sure there would be those that would argue that this is not a curriculum. Yes and no. It covers the 3 basic things: pre-math, pre-writing, pre-reading. So I would argue that technically yes, but only because you don't need a curriculum to do preschool. It is an open and go curriculum. It has very simple activities that would require little to no prep work ahead of time from the parents. It is self-paced. It doesn't have a schedule. It is strictly workbook so workbook pages, that sort of thing. This is non-Christian. This is secular, and it is under $10. Not bad, right? It is before 5 in a row. Designed to be used with children ages 2 through 4, Before 5 in a row is a rich treasury of creative ideas that help you gently, consistently prepare your children for the lifelong adventure of learning. Now, in a revised second edition, this best selling volume is the foundation for inspired learning through great books and future studies with the entire 5 in a row curriculum. Before 5 in a row is divided into two parts. One part contains hundreds of simple ideas and activities developed around 24 of the finest books ever written for young children. You'll find delightful activities built around such wonderful classics as Runaway Bunny, The Carrot Seed, Corduroy, Chaps for Sale, We're Going on a Bear Hunt, The Snowy Day, Katie No Pocket, and Blueberries for Sal. Each unit provides creative ideas and enjoyable activities designed to cultivate joyful intimacy with your child while building vital learning readiness and skills. Part 2 is a rich resource filled with specific ideas designed to help you prepare children for learning through simple, everyday activities. You will also find ideas for bath time, bedtime, in the kitchen, at the grocery store, and much more. Information and inspiration to help you maximize these precious years, guiding and preparing your children well for their future academic journeys. Very literature based, similar to Sunlight in that regard. This particular curriculum has quite a bit of prep work ahead of time. This is not an open and go because they give you a book list. They do not give you the books. So you actually, as the parent, have to go and get all the books on the book list. Apparently, it's pretty common for parents to just go to a local library and get the books from there. To download some sample pages of the instructor guide, parent guide, teacher guide, whatever they call it. And those are things that you're going to want to read the instructor guide before you read the book with your child. It is self-paced. I don't believe that they have a particular schedule. It didn't look like there was a schedule. It is book activities and activity ideas. So it's reading stories, like I said, very literature, reading heavy based, and then having those activity ideas available. So you really actually, I think this is probably the only curriculum that didn't have worksheets at all. They technically don't work on like phonics or pre-math at all. So this is more of like literature and life skills versus the actual academics. If they are Christian, they're being very quiet about it. So that leads me to believe that they're probably secular, which, whatever, but it's just not super clear. So, and the cost of this one is $49. This one is from Oak Meadow. This is their preschool play Seasons of Wonder course package. This full year preschool course is a play-based curriculum that follows the seasons of the year. Stories for each month are combined with songs, poems, games, recipes, and activities that relate to the season or the story's theme. The activities in this course inspire an understanding of others' feelings, provide an opportunity for creative problem solving, and teach young children how to share responsibilities and creative cognitive skills. Throughout the course, there is an expression of loving kindness and appreciation of for each individual's unique gifts, which will help children build their confidence and self-esteem. A variety of parent topics supplement the course, providing guidance for those working with young children. Topics include developing a rhythm with preschoolers, telling stories, working with arts and crafts, transitioning between activities, exploring nature, and setting up a place. So what's included with this is the Seasons of Wonder course book, read to your toddler every day, 20 folk tales to read aloud, a bedtime full of stories, 50 folk tales and legends from around the world, barefoot books, children of the world, I Am Kind, songs for unique kids by Lindsay Monroe, which is apparently a CD. And then it looks like a preschool craft kit, which includes a variety of materials used in the course, is available for separate purchase. Then I did take a look into the sample for the preschool curriculum. And again, it's things that you as the parent, you're going to want to read ahead of time before you sit down with your child and try to do some of this stuff. This particular curriculum is very heavy into the activities, the music. This kind of feels more like just an opportunity for developing learning readiness Any of the learning occurred during the activities, during the games, during the stories, and that sort of stuff. The schedule that they have is set up to be anywhere from 2 to 5 days a week, but it is very flexible. This is non religious, this is secular, and the cost is $151. Is Winter Promise. So I am looking at the I'm Ready to Learn basic print package. In this package, you will receive the most important resources scheduled in your guide to complete your program. You will receive the full color guidebook as well as the Make a Letter hands-on pack, the blank book, and the Arts and Crafts Busy Book. The resources in this package are used for many weeks and represent the essential content your student needs to work through this program. You'll use the Make a Letter pack and Arts and Crafts Busy Book every week and the blank book for 2/3 of the year. So what is in this package? Looks like we have the Ready to Learn guidebook, the I'm Ready to Learn student page pack. There is a kit, Make a Letter hands-on pack, letter by letter blank book, and then there is still an ebook, Conversations About God. 5 different books to work through. And again, from Winter Promise, you can select a 2-week sample so you can actually see what the curriculum looks like. This is an open and go curriculum. There is some prep with the activities that you as the parent will want to read through, because it just kind of gives you an instruction and a basic introduction into the curriculum so you know how you're supposed to use it with your child. A bit of a schedule and kind of a theme for each week. Have a supplies for your activities for the year, and it's quite a lengthy list. Some things are pretty basic, like pencils, tape, child-safe scissors. Describe this as being also very colorful, but not as nicely done as The Good and the Beautiful. This looks more like cartoony. It's a 4-day-a-week curriculum. Weekly schedule, it breaks it down, day 1, day 2, day 3, and gives you more information for each of those days. Okay, so there are cutout pages, lots of activities, there's manipulatives, there's games. Obviously, with this pretty extensive supply list, you're going to be doing quite a few activities throughout this curriculum. It is Christian based, $189. Peaceful Press, the Peaceful Preschool. The Peaceful Preschool is a 26-week developmentally gentle curriculum designed to help you prepare your child for school while enjoying great books and hands-on activities together. The guide includes daily activities for cultivating strong motor skills, which will help ensure school success. The Peaceful Preschool program will help develop strong auditory, visual, and motor skills to give your child tools for academic success. Each of the 26 weeks is laid out carefully and concisely and has been lovingly curated for the brand new homeschool family, as well as the most seasoned one. The vision of the Peaceful Preschool is to offer a guide that cultivates a love of literature and a passion for learning. Also included in the Peaceful Preschool is the Peaceful Preschool printable pack, which includes the 26 letters of the alphabet in upper and lowercase in both cursive and print, along with a large version of each letter for creating a special alphabet book as a keepsake of the year of learning. The printable pack also includes numbers 1 through 10 and patterns for the accompanying crafts. Then they also have the Peaceful Preschool Recipes. Also includes themed recipes to make each of the 26 weeks of learning into a multi-sensory festival of learning. The Peaceful Preschool is a literature and project-based curriculum for early learners. The years before formal school, roughly ages 3 through 5, are a prime time to develop powerful processing skills, objectives that are best met through hands-on learning, and the Peaceful Preschool is your guide to meeting those objectives. So the subjects of study that they include in the Peaceful Preschool are read-alouds, phonics, counting skills, fine motor skills, large motor skills, which are gross motor skills, practical life skills, and art skills. There is prep required with this curriculum. There's the parent book that you will want to read ahead of time, and there's probably quite a few of these, especially like the recipes that you're going to have to plan ahead of time to do, make sure you have all the ingredients, that sort of stuff. This is a Monday through Friday scheduled curriculum. but it's meant to be done in like 5-minute increments with, 5 minutes or more with these activities. It does include some worksheets, it's multisensory games, life skills, that sort of stuff. So this is a very nice, again, it's a very comprehensive curriculum because it includes all of those things outside of just the academic subjects. This is a Christian-based curriculum, and it is, I actually have the wrong price written down on my sheet. It is $44. Gentle and Classical Preschool Bundle. The Gentle and Classical Preschool Second Edition was designed with your child's development and natural rhythms in mind. It was created for parents who want to provide structure, focus on character development and faith, and add intention into their child's preschool years. Classical Preschool Bundle includes the following items created to make implementation easy and joyful. There's the teacher's guide, 85 pages of encouragement philosophy, and the content covered over 26 letter themed units. There is the preschool handicraft and activity guide, 200 pages of guided detailed instruction in implementing the 26 units outlined in the teacher's guide, including handicraft activity instructions, expanded book lists, science activities, literacy expectations, and weekly schedules for all 26 units. There's the preschool art and music pack, 40 pages of art instruction guidance, a plan for enjoying Peter and the Wolf, art prints for the 13 artist study units from Da Vinci, Matisse, and Van Gogh, and a storyboard for Peter and the Wolf to encourage play, narration, and engagement. There's the preschool morning binder, 114 pages, that include daily calendar, weather, and emotional review, plus ABC's 1, 2, 3 shapes and color practice. Memory statement cards, approximately 110 pages of memory statement cards for reciting and displaying our statements from scripture, character and catechism, manners and hygiene, math, wonder tales and poetry, nursery rhyme, all about me. There are ABC and 1, 2, 3 flashcards, A through Z uppercase, and 1 through 10 vintage themed flashcards for providing realistic, beautiful illustrations for each letter and number scheduled through the program. There are character statement songs. These MP4 and M4A files are found in the Dropbox file along with your printables. They can be listened to in Dropbox or downloaded to your device. These are simple tunes to help make practicing each term's virtue enjoyable and memorable. And then you also get the digital only bonus nature memory statement cards, these additional nature focused science instruction using these 18 cards along with the book list provided in the free nature teacher's guide. Additional only digital bonus 1 through 10 watercolor number flashcards plus additional vintage ABC cards. These two sets give additional options for number recognition and for including upper and lowercase letters in your review. So there is a lot included in this curriculum. This is a very activity heavy and craft heavy curriculum. There is some weekly prep for the different like memory cards and things. This comes with a schedule, and it is set up to be a 4-day-a-week schedule. The amount of time that each day and each week takes is going to vary based on the individual activities that are planned for that week. And this is very heavily into crafts and stories. There's some worksheets, but it's a lot of memory cards. It's a lot of hands-on stuff, which is great because most kids this age are. You definitely need art and craft supplies that may not be typical for you to have at home, even if you have kids. It is Christian-based. For the Gentle and Classical Preschool Bundle, for it to be printed, is $134.99, so $135. If you get the digital only, so you get everything, you just have to print it all off yourself, then it's $34.99. That was a lot of curriculums. Let's rewind a little bit. We're going to go back through each of these curriculums, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on each one of them. So first of all, highlights. Highlights has a great reputation, long history of providing really good kids learning materials. Nothing wrong with highlights at all. They do get busy. Their pages can get very, very busy and distracting. Are we going to use the highlights big preschool workbook? Probably not. But if I'm hemming and hawing and on the fence, $7 if I get it from Amazon. It's really not that bad. So, Sunlight. Oh, Sunlight. You are so expensive. But I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. There's everything about it I love. The days of the week, the amount of time for each of the days that you would spend on the activities and the things, that everything is basically included in that box. It arrives to you, you open it up. That's it. The other thing I love is the fact that we already spend a decent amount of time reading with our daughter. Would basically just add some additional activities without really having to change too much of our daily activities. Which at that point, is it worth almost $400? But at the same time, it's $400 and I know we're going to go through it. I know we're going to use the curriculum. The Good and the Beautiful. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I don't dislike it, you know. And again, it's about 3 lessons a week. Beautiful. That gives me as the parent so much flexibility. I love that. Horizons from Alpha and Omega. I'm not wild about this one. And I can't say what it is. The amount of extra things, which is going to seem really funny because I love the Good and Classical and I love the Peaceful Preschool. But it's, you know, this book and this book and this book and the readers and this. And then there's a multimedia kit and then there's this and then there's this. And it's like, and you know, maybe it's one of those things where I would actually need to get that curriculum in my hands and actually look through it. But that's not one of my favorites. Now, the Essential Homeschool Preschool, that book I feel like would be great if you already had your curriculum picked out, but your child is struggling with the pre-reading, pre-math, and pre-writing items. So this would be a great way to supplement that, or using that like for what I'm doing with our Letter of the Week program right now for my daughter. You know, again, it's super inexpensive. So if she struggles with those areas, perfect. I've got a great option that's inexpensive. The Before 5 in a Row, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am not. I love reading. Don't get me wrong. I love reading. I love books. That curriculum would never work for me because as a full-time working outside the home homeschool parent, I don't have the time to go to the library and pick up those books. If I were to get this curriculum, that book list would sit there and I would never go and get them, ever. Or I would go and get them and then I would promptly forget to return them and then have all the late fees and then not go and get any more because I didn't want any more late fees. So that curriculum, I know for a fact, is not going to work for us. I did include it in this list because it did meet all the other criteria, but I'm telling you right now, that ain't going to be the one I pick. Oak Meadow. It's going to be a no from me. I would never be able to carve out the time to go get all of these supplies to do the activities to actually really feel like I was following the curriculum and being successful with it. Winter Promise. Another really nice option. You know, the Christian basis is very appealing to me. I love that. It is an open and go. It's very, you know, right there for you. A lot of different activities included, but pretty much everything is packaged up for you nice and neat. You know, the supplies and materials that we would need to do the activities we already have here, so that takes care of that. It's very colorful. The pages are nice and cartoony and bright, and you know, but it's not excessive, so it's not super distracting. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the Peaceful Press and the Classical and Gentle and Classical at the same time because they are both so beautifully designed and so beautifully made, and I want to use both of them. But it's really sad for me to say that I know that neither one of them would work. So this is a curriculum that was designed for stay-at-home parents to use with their kids. So you have those, you know, 5-minute, 10-minute increments of time that you can do an activity with your child in amongst doing laundry, doing dishes, cleaning the house, running errands, doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can homeschool your kids and work full-time outside of your home too. It's much harder. But so many of these homeschool curriculums are 4 days a week, 5 days a week, you know, do small increments with your child. That's great. What if I don't spend 8 hours of the day with them? What if I'm at work away from my child for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday? As a parent who works outside the home full time, who has a husband who works full time as well, also outside the home, as much as the price tag hurts, I think what we're going to end up doing is the Sunlight preschool curriculum, because that's something that we'll have the schedule of what we're supposed to do, each day of the week, the 3 days a week that we are supposed to do homeschool stuff. And like I said, a lot of it is reading, a lot of it is literature. We can have the instructor guide with the questions and the prompts for our daughter to read the story and then say, okay, what did you think about XYZ? And actually have that discussion. We can still do that while we go and get our other stuff done. So in May this year, I'm so excited. My husband and I are going to be going to a homeschool convention. Sunlight is going to be at the homeschool convention. I'm very excited for that. There is also a homeschool bookstore not far from my in-laws. We're going to that bookstore and we are going to look through what they have for curriculum. If you are looking at doing some homeschool preschool with your kiddo, and especially if you are a work outside the home parent, yeah, I feel your struggle. I feel your pain. Encouragement and ideas as we can to each other so that, we can still enjoy working full time, but also knowing that we're doing the best we can in educating our kids with homeschool. That's all for today, folks. I'll see you soon.